نبدأ إن شاء الله. طيب، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي بنعمته تتم الصالحات، والصلاة والسلام على النبي العربي المبعوث للناس أجمعين. أما بعد, Inshallah ta'ala, tonight we'll begin Al-Wahdatu Thalitha, Unit 3. Al-Wahdatu Thalitha, Unit 3, As-Second. So قال المؤلف, he said, As-Second, accommodations. So here this unit will talk about different types of accommodation. طيب. Then قال المؤلف, he said, Al-Ard. He's displaying something now. الحوار الأول, the first conversation. انظر واستمع وأعد. We've already completed this, and it should be revision, and everyone should have memorized what انظر means, واستمع, and وأعد. انظر means to look, واستمع to listen, وأعد to repeat. So this conversation is between Ahmed and Hassan. Between Ahmed and Hassan. Then Ahmed said, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Aina taskun. Aina where? Taskun. Do you live? So where do you live? Or where do you stay? All the same meaning. Then he said, Askunu. I live and I stay fi hayy al-matar. In the airport area. Hay and al-matar. Al-matar means airport. Hay can mean suburb or the area. Suburb or area. طيب. وأين تسكن أنت? And where do you stay? Where do you live? So again, he asked them, أين تسكن? Where do you live? Or where do you stay? Then he said, Askunu, I live or I stay, fi in Hayy al-Matar, in the airport suburb, or the area, airport area. Then he asked him the same question that he was asked, وَأَيْنَ تَسْكُنُ أَنْتَ? And where do you stay? Where do you live? He said, Askunu, I live, I stay, fi Hayy al-Jami'a, in the university area. Hayy, area, al-Jami'a, he said, in the university area or in the university suburbs. طيب. هل تسكن في بيت? هل تسكن, do you live or stay في بيت, in a house? He said, نعم, yes, أسكن في بيت. I stay and live in a house. وهل تسكن في بيت? And he asked him same questions. Do you also live? وهل تسكن في بيت? Do you live and stay in a house? He said, لا, no. أسكن, I live and I stay في شقة, in a flat or apartment. Here a lot of students will say شقة. The correct word here is, the correct pronunciation, شقة. طيب. ما رقم شقتك? What is your flat or apartment number? He said خمسة, 5. So here the author now is teaching us numbers. And as you progress into the unit, you will study numbers 1 to 10. And throughout the book, you should know how to say numbers 1 to 100. طيب. ما رقم شقتك? He said 5. وما رقم بيتك 9. He said, what is the number of your flat or apartment? He said 5, 5. And then he asked him same questions. What is the number of your house? Or what is your house number? Then he said 9. Any questions? Then here the mu'allif, he said al-mufradat, and we said al-mufradat means vocabulary, and then he said al-ard. He's displaying exercises and different types of exercises, and then he said undur wastami' wa a'id. Now, as we taught units 1 and 2, we said that the author always has 3 conversations in each unit. And as a talib al-ilm, you are supposed to memorize these 3 conversations, and not only memorize them, you're supposed to also write them in a notebook, in a separate notebook, and then practice this with your neighbor, with your classmates, co-workers, I don't care. But you're supposed to practice them, memorize the conversations, read these conversations as you're going on the bus, as you're walking to school, or as you're going to work, and this is how you practice al-hiwar. This is how you practice the conversation. طيب. الحوار الثاني, the second conversation. انظر, look, واستمع, and listen, and وأعد, and repeat. So here we have two conversation between 2 people, al-mustajir and al-mu'ajjir, the tenant and the landlord. Al-mustajir is a tenant, and al-mu'ajjir means the landlord. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. Uridu. Uridu here means need. So he said, I need, uridu, shaqqatan min fadlik. Shaqqatan means a flat or apartment. Min fadlik means please. So I need an apartment or a flat, please. Uridu, I need. Shaqqatan, apartment or flat. Min fadlik, please. And this is the etiquette of also student of knowledge. When you need something or want something, you should always say min fadlik. And make sure you get the pronunciation correctly too. If you didn't finish Nuraniya, Qa'adatul Nuraniya, then you'll probably be struggling reading Al-Lugha Al-Arabiyya bin Yadayk. Everything is shay'an fa shay'an. Learn the matun al-ilmiya and the basic concise matun, then move on to the next matan. So if you can read Arabic and you're still struggling to read Arabic, there's no point of you seeking knowledge to study Arabic. And the funny thing is, we have a lot of tulab al-ilm who will say, okay, now I'm going to go to Egypt. I'm going to seek knowledge in Egypt. If you can seek knowledge in Canada or in America or in the country that you live in, how will you seek knowledge in a country that you are shakhsun gharib, like you're a stranger? You don't know the language, you don't know the country itself, there's rules and regulation, and then now you have to leave your comfort zone and then rent a place. So begin seeking knowledge in the city that you're in, and from the tulab al-ilm that are in your city, and from the students of knowledge who live in your city first, then you graduate. لَتَرْكَبُنَّ طَبَقًا عَنْ طَبَقٍ. And this is what life is about. You go through stages in life, and then you graduate from a stage to stage. But nowadays we have a lot of students who will say, oh, I'm going to Egypt, or I'm going to Saudi with a tourist visa. I'm going to go seek knowledge in Saudi with the scholars. You can't even seek knowledge at your local masjid. But then you'll seek knowledge halfway across the world just because you're in the Middle East. Allah ya'inak. طيب. So we said al-mustajir and al-mu'ajjir. Then he said, Uridu shaqqatan min fadlik. I need a flat or apartment, please. Then he said, Ladayna. We have shaqqatun jamilatun. We have a beautiful flat or apartment. Ladayna, we have shaqqatun, apartment or flat, jamilatun, beautiful. Kam ghurfatan fi shaqqa. Kam, how many? Ghurfatan, rooms. Fi shaqqa, in the flat or apartment. He said, fi shaqqati. Khamsu ghurafin. Fi shaqqati, in the flat, are khamsu غرف, 5 rooms. So غرفة is singular, غرف is plural. Then he said في أي دور الشقة. So في أي دور الشقة. He said في أي دور الشقة. في أي دور. So door here means floor. So في أي, which floor is the flat or the apartment? So which floor is the flat or the apartment? في أي دور. In في means in. في أي دور. So here means في originally means in, right? في البيت. But في can also mean on. So here he's saying on which floor is the flat or apartment? في أي دور الشقة. طيب, he said الشقة, the flat في دور الخامس is on the 5th floor. الشقة, the flat or apartment, is في الدور الخامس, is on the 5th floor. Then he said أريد مشاهدة الشقة. أريد. He said أريد here means I need to see. أريد مشاهدة, to see الشقة. He said I need to see the flat or apartment. Then he said تفضل. Sure. أدخل. Enter, he said. تفضل. أدخل. Enter. هذه هي الشقة. This is the flat I've been telling you about and that you've been asking me questions about. Have a look at it. Let me know what you think. Then he said, هذه شقة جميلة. This is a beautiful flat and apartment. Meaning now he will take and start renting the flat. Then the mu'allif said, al-mufradatu al-ard. Al-mufradatu, vocabulary. And now he's giving you more vocabulary because we said from the beginning, you have to memorize the vocabulary before we move on to grammar. And Ajrumiya, Al-Ajrumiya is the next book we'll be explaining. You have to memorize these vocabularies. And once you memorize these vocabularies, then once we get to the grammar aspect, you can put the sentences and the mufradat you've memorized into sentences. طيب, let's continue. Then the mu'allif said, الحوار الثالث, the third and last conversation of الوحدة الثالثة, the last conversation of unit 3, a second. When you said a second means accommodation. طيب, here we have المشتري and البائع. So al-mushtari is the buyer. Al-ba'i' is the seller. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. Ayya khidmatin. Ayya khidma. So khidma means help. And ayya means how can I. So how can I help you? Ayya khidma. And the Arabs are known for saying this. And if you travel to the Middle East, you'll hear this saying, a lot of them saying this. Ayya khidma. How can I help you? How can I be service to you? Ayy khidma. Then he said, أريد بعض الآثاث. أريد, I need. بعض means some. الآثاث means furniture. So I need some furniture. أريد, I need. بعض, some. الآثاث, furniture. أخي, are you listening or are you playing on your phone? Focus, بالله focus يا أخي. تابع على نفسك. طيب. سوف تسأل. You will be asked about all these conversations and I'm going to randomly choose students to read the conversations out loud from memory. So stop playing with your phone. Allah musta'an. طيب. Where was I? نعم. So أريد بعض الأثاث. I need some furniture. So remember, what is the difference between furniture and appliance? Appliances use electricity, and furnitures, they don't use electricity, okay? So microwave, is that a furniture or appliance? Appliance. Bookshelf, that's a furniture. طيب, where was I? So he said أريد بعض الأثاث. طيب, then he said the seller, he said ماذا تريد لغرفة النوم. ماذا تريد, what do you need, لغرفة النوم, for the bedroom. غرفة النوم is the room that you sleep in, which means the bedroom. غرفة means room, النوم means sleep. The only room that you sleep in is غرفة النوم, is the bedroom. Then he said أريد, I need, أريد سريرا, a bed, and وستارة. أريد سريرا وستارة. Sitara here means curtains, okay? نعم. أريد سريرا, I need a bed, and وستارة, and a curtain. وماذا تريد لغرفة الجلوس, and he said, what do you need for the sitting room? غرفة الجلوس, julus means to sit, غرفة means room, and that basically means a living room, okay? Sitting room, living room, whatever you want to call it. وماذا تريد لغرفة الجلوس, what do you need for the living room or the sitting room? He said أريد أريكة. أريكة here means sofa or couch. وسجادة. Sajjada means carpet. There's a difference between a carpet and a rug. A carpet covers the whole floor, and a rug covers parts of the floor. So a carpet and a rug, okay? طيب. So here he just says sajjada means carpet. وماذا تريد للمطبخ, what do you need for the مطبخ, where you cook, kitchen. So مطبخ means kitchen. He said أريد, I need فرنا, stove, وثلاجة, and a fridge. فرنا, stove, and وثلاجة, and a fridge. وماذا تريد للحمام, what do you want, what do you need for the bathroom, حمام. So as a student of knowledge, you should know the difference between bathroom, washroom, restroom, WC, which is water closet. What else? So bathroom, washroom, toilet, WC, restroom. All these you're supposed to know the difference in the English language before you even get to the Arabic language. But here, نكتفي بالحمام. We'll stop here with حمام. طيب. وماذا تريد للحمام? What do you need for the bathroom? He said أريد سخانا and مرآة. Sakhanan means a boiler. In the Middle East and a lot of poor countries, you'll see that the bathroom has a boiler on the side. It can be above the toilet seat on the side when you enter the bathroom. And this boiler, sakhana, will make the cold water hot. And mir'atan, and a mirror. هل تريد شيئا آخر? هل تريد, do you need? شيئا آخر, anything else? He said, shukran, thank you. أريد مشاهدة الآثاث, I would like to see the furniture. So every furniture that he talked about, سريرا وستارة أريكة وسجادة, فرنا, وثلاجة. What else did he ask for? ثلاجة, فرن, سخانا, ومرآة. He said, now, I need مشاهدة الأثاث, to see these furnitures. Then he said, تفضل, come along, sure, no problem. Come see these furniture I've been talking about. Then the author here said, al-mufradat, vocabulary, al-ard. And now he will display some of the vocabulary, and we'll stop here, inshallah ta'ala. We will start unit 4. وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين.